All right, all right, all right. You know what time it is. It's time for me to yap about movies and TV shows for a while. Spoilers, mild spoilers, or no spoilers for all of these things I'm going to be talking about. Just be mindful, okay? Just be mindful. Let's not waste any more time and let's just get into it.
Sure must be nice being the good guy.
Yeah, this was a good time. The animation is like really good. I'm genuinely surprised. Like DreamWorks as a whole has kind of seen like a renaissance, if you will. There was a period where they just could not hit on anything, but as of recent, man, they're like bullseye right now. Like everything they touch turns to gold. This one's really enjoyable. The characters are great. The voice acting's really good. Man, it's just such a good time. And I'm glad that this one is ushering a new wave of great animated movies. Another one by DreamWorks I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. So, hey, 7 out of 10.
Let's work it.
Sometimes the originals are better than the sequels, but yeah, that's the case here. Don't get me wrong, this is perfectly fine. You're probably asking, why the fudge are you watching High School Musical? I don't know, man, because sometimes I want to get my musical on, okay? It's hard to say which songs I like compared to the first movie to this movie. There are some bangers with this one, but I don't know if you can really beat the classics. The whole thing with, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the main couple's name. I am so sorry, but their whole like falling out thing, I was just like, okay, I expect it. It's kind of super lame though, like, ugh. But you know, you have to have it. You have to have the drama, because that's what High School Musical is all about. It's all about that drama. 6 out of 10.
Tell me more, did you get very far? Tell me more. Does he look like a bitch?
Oh my god, is now a bad time to admit I finally watched this thing? I don't think I really bring anything to the conversation about Pulp Fiction. It is very, very, very good. Quentin Tarantino likes to make long movies, which is like, whatever, bro, you do you. But a couple instances of Tarantino movies, I feel like the length of it ultimately kind of like harms the movie. But with Pulp Fiction, that couldn't be further from the case. There's almost never a dull moment in this. Everyone in the cast does a fantastic job. There's so much memorable scenes. What do you want me to say? What's surprising is that I have not been intrigued to buy a Pulp Fiction poster and put it in my dorm room, but I guess I'm an outlier in that regard. 9 out of 10. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Redline is probably one of the most underrated animated movies I have ever seen. Like, my god. I think it is pretty underrated because it's kind of an underground movie, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, like, I think this did come out in theaters in Japan and it just did not do well in the slightest. And now it's kind of a cult classic. And it has every right to be because, my god, it is awesome. The best way I could describe this is like an F-Zero movie on steroids. Like, this movie is probably the closest we're ever gonna get to like anything resembling a new F-Zero game. And you know what? Maybe I'm okay with that. I'm kidding. I'm not Nintendo. Get your stuff together, man. I highly recommend this one. This one is freaking awesome. 8 out of 10.
What is a muse?
I mean, I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems.
Right.
All right. I watched the movie with all the memes attached to it. Okay. Fine. I'll play a game. This one's a good time. I think Adam Sandler does an amazing job with what he's got. When he actually agrees to a movie with people that have talent, a pair of nuts, you know, it actually works out well, you know? I don't know if it's as good as people say it is. A lot of people are like, oh, this is a masterpiece. And I'm like, no. Adam Sandler's character roots for the Celtics. Like, I don't know. I guess going off the Celtics thing, Kevin Garnett is in this movie. He plays himself, and he's like good at playing himself. The Weeknd is also in this movie, and Abel, I'm just gonna say this. I respect you a lot. Like, I really do. You need to stop acting. Like you did this, and then did The Idol. Like, dude, stop. Like, actually stop. Like, I'm not even, no joke. Stop. 7 out of 10.
Oh, we're like
like a big happy family. And I'm the dad, and Logan's the mom.
I've always been interested in this one. I remember seeing the poster when it first came out, and I was like, ooh, I'll get to watching that movie. I only got to it like 6 years afterwards, but I guess I was glad. I mean, the movie's mid as hell, but A24 like really likes movies like this one. Okay, listen, this is gonna be hard to describe, but this movie is basically like, I don't know, a short film extended out to a full movie. A lot of the movie is the very dramatic crescendo till the end. Dude, that's okay, but I don't know, I feel like this would have been a much better thing if it was just a short film, because there are long stretches of the movie where it's like, okay, where are we going from here? I just got kind of bored. Okay, I'm sorry. You may like that the movie does that. For me personally, I just don't. 5 out of 10.
You see these new songs Paul's written? They're absolute shite.
Oh boy, here's another movie my mom begged me to watch. Yesterday is pretty decent. It's a pretty basic love story, but it's got the Beatles attached to it. Ooh. All the Beatles stuff is cool, but everything besides that is pretty I mean, the concept of a world not knowing who a very big artist or band is, and only one person knowing, and having that person, you know, spread the message of the, you know, I think that's a cool concept, no doubt, but I don't know, it's like, it kind of like went so much with it. Oh, you know who's in this movie? Ed Sheeran. It wasn't until this movie that I realized like the gap in talent between Ed Sheeran and like 3 of the 4 Beatles is like much bigger than like I initially thought. You can throw Ringo in there. Maybe the gap will be a little bit smaller, but not by much. The movie's pretty fine. If you know someone who likes the Beatles and hasn't seen it, then I guess this will be a decent time. 6 out of 10.
It all started when a dumb ass meet another dumb ass and meet another dumb ass, and they become the dumb ass trio.
You know, with the benefit of hindsight, I maybe put my expectations in this movie a bit too high, but yeah, the Marvels kind of disappointed me. I think I was so excited because I did enjoy Ms. Marvel. The first 2 episodes, everything else was kind of a crapshoot, but I really was excited with Ms. Marvel teaming up with Captain Marvel and Monica. I was like, okay, this could be a good time. And it was a whole heaping dose of I mean, the fight scenes, though. Oh, listen, a couple of those fight scenes are amazing. The worlds they explored were also cool. That world where, like, they only, like, communicated through music or singing, that was cool. But that's kind of where my compliments end. Freaking, the villain sucks so much, man. I don't even remember her name. Plus, the movie's a little too short. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is, like, one of the shortest MCU movies, like, ever. Which kind of sucks, honestly. 5 out of 10.
Holy shit, it's Freddy Fazbear. FNAF.
Oh, we're just getting mid. We're just getting mid all over. Yeah, I don't really know what I was expecting with a Blumhouse movie. It's fine. Listen, I do really like the FNAF franchise, but this movie was a whole bunch of Don't get me wrong, there are good stuff. The animatronics were cool. Thank God they weren't CGI. They were actual animatronics and they looked good. The whole dream thing with the main character wanting to figure out what happened to his brother, I thought that was cool, but what I didn't like was his stupid daughter. Okay, bro, listen, the stupid kid trope has to end. I swear to God, if I have to watch another movie with the main character's kid going around and getting into trouble and all this stuff as a way to just pad the movie, I will stop watching it. Stop with the stupid kid trope. It's annoying as hell. Stop. What else did I like? Oh, I liked Matt Pat's cameo. That got a good laugh out of me, even though it was the same freaking Matt Pat joke. Listen, I make the same Matt Pat joke all the time. I'm also glad that the movie financially did well and that they're making a sequel. Hopefully the sequel is going to be better. God, I hope so. 5 out of 10.
You know, I heard there was a 2013 Spike Lee remake of it. So I think I'll check that.
I've already made a quick rev on this one. You might already know how I feel about this movie. It's almost perfect. I really like it. Yeah, I'm a little bit psychotic. How could you tell? I also made my mom watch it, so yeah, she had a good time. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. But yes, I highly recommend this movie. If you're looking for any kind of foreign film, watch it. Okay, watch it. You might thank me later. 9 out of 10.
Muppet movies are always the best. You mean it? For me to poop on?
Ticking off another Muppet movie is Muppet Take Manhattan. Oh my god. Okay, listen. This might be a hot take, but I think this is the best Muppets movie. This has basically everything you could ask for in a Muppet movie. There's great humor. The songs are amazing, especially the one with the Muppet Babies. Oh my god. My heart literally melted out of my body. Oh my god. I think this is one of the, I don't know, maybe this might be the only Muppet movie where there's not like a central main antagonist. Listen, if that's the case, maybe they should do that more often. Yeah, this one was such a great time. I absolutely loved it. 8 out of 10.
Aw, out of ammo.
Who, me?
Yeah, okay. I'm ashamed it took me this long. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell is a good time. I wouldn't say this is the best anime movie out there. The cyberpunk world is really cool. The action is really good. It is kind of short though, if I recall, but it's not a big deal. And I know it kind of well because of the AMV that made. Am I trying to plug? Yes, I am. You should definitely check that out, by the way. 7 out of 10. Listen, this might sound weird, but I was forced to watch this movie. Last summer, I decided to get myself a job as a camp counselor. And one of the things that we do each week is watch a movie. This happened to be the movie that we watched. I couldn't leave or tell my boss, hey bro, I can't come in because they're playing Trolls and I don't like Trolls. I can't do that, dude. Alright, anyways, the movie itself is fine. I know there's a whole meme or joke about me not liking Trolls. You know, singing Kill My Grandma, that stuff. But I think the villains were actually like really good. I mean, they kind of harassed all the Trolls, which was funny. I got a kick out. I'm sorry. I guess another trope that I don't like, along with the stupid ass kid or whatever, is the surprise brother that I never told you about. Okay, I know I just was talking about how much I hate the stupid kid. I think I hate this worse. Listen, the whole thing is just lazy, okay? It's, oh my god, what do we do with this character? What if he had a brother or a sister that they never told him about because how much of an asshole he was? Boom. That's how that makes a story. No, this trope is so bad. Bro, it was in Arcane. It was in the second season of Arcane, and it was a main plot point for one of the characters. Arcane had this stupid ass trope that nobody likes. Alright, enough of that. The movie's fine. 5 out of 10. Arcane. Out of all shows.
Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season!
Yeah, we got another decent one on the books. I shouldn't say that. It's surprisingly decent. Everything Illumination has done since Despicable Me, aside from the Mario thing, is something that I kind of want to stay away from. But I guess Migration can also fall under Super Mario, because this was actually a pretty decent time. I remember a lot of the promotional thing and trailers before this movie came out was like, look at these ducks, they're in New York. Remember New York? And I'm like, fudging hell, man. Really? We're just doing the whole stick these animals in this populated city. Isn't that just Secret Life of Pets? Oh wait, it is! But thankfully they get out of New York. Could you blame them though? But it's fine. It's totally acceptable. 6 out of 10.
That's because the player keeps mashing the button. That's because I like slapping fleshy things with this hand.
I also made a quick rev on this one. In summary, this is one of the funnest MCU movies you could possibly watch. You'll have a good time watching it. That's basically all I have to say. 7 out of 10.
They're selling chocolate. Chocolate? Yeah! What? What are they selling? Chocolate!
Well, if you really want to talk about surprises, I'll tell you, this is probably the biggest surprise of them all. Wonka is a good movie. I think this was made by the same people who did Paddington, or the director at least. Listen, man, whatever he does in the future, man, I'm interested. Knowing about Willy Wonka's origin was something that always definitely piqued my interest, and I wish they explored that in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know, that crap movie, you know, that movie's crap, by the way. If you think it's pretty decent, no, it's crap. Okay, it's garbage. They do a really good job with his origin story. It's just good. I know. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this. 7 out of 10.
Thought about killing myself.
Listen, if it has Haley Steinfeld's name on it, I'm more than likely gonna watch it. This one was perfectly acceptable. It's surprisingly kind of depressing. I mean, I kind of knew that going into it, but as you're watching this movie, it's like, okay, this is a lot bleaker than I thought it was gonna be. Listen, this is not a knock on my girl Haley, but she likes being in stuff where she's primarily sad. I mean, she's Vi in Arcane, and I couldn't tell you a character who cries more than her. But besides that, it's an okay teen movie. If you're looking for a teen movie, I guess this will... What's the... Something with boat. Not fill your boat. Not rope. Forget it. It's it's fine. 6 out of 10.
Circle love, circle love, circle love, circle of friends.
Circle is probably the first movie that I have ever seen where the movie's budget is clearly stated in the film's title. Yeah, Circle is pretty interesting because it is probably the most character-driven movie I have ever seen, and for what it is, it's pretty solid. Watching how each of these characters go about solving an issue, it is interesting, but that's kind of all the movie has going for it, and then it all culminates in the end, which is actually pretty shocking ending, you know. 6 out of 10.
I think in terms of anime as a whole, it's niche, but as anime films, it's not niche. Have you seen that? No. What the fuck?
Listen, we may be out of the Christmas season, but if you're looking for a good Christmas movie, hey, I've got it right here. This is the first movie that I've seen from Satoshi Kon. I hope I said his name right. He's made other animated movies like Perfect Blue, Paprika, Millennium Actress. We probably heard about them. Anyways, I can definitely see why the people like him, because man, this is a really good movie. There's a lot of twists and turns, and the main trio is just a ton of fun to watch. And learning about them and their backstory is also a really good time. Just like the whole movie. And I can't wait to see everything else from... Okay, what's his name again? Satoshi. Yes, Satoshi. Yeah. 8 out of 10.
Box of Hostess Twinkies. 10 individually wrapped cakes.
Is it wrong that I think this is probably my favorite zombie movie? The only real competition is Shaun of the Dead, but... Ooh, that's like picking my favorite child. Anyways, Zombieland is so much fun. The cast is phenomenal. The jokes are funny. There's a certain celebrity that comes in. It's awesome. I don't want to give it away, but you probably already know. I highly recommend you check this one out. 8 out of 10. I guess speaking of sequels, let's talk about one. 22 Jump Street is practically the same as 21 Jump Street, so much so that they acknowledge it is in the actual movie, because of course they do. I think I like this one just a little bit more than the first one. It might be the more recency bias talking, but yeah, it's probably it. I think the humor is a bit more on point with this one. The whole thing with Schmidt and the captain's daughter is so good. But the whole like college football thing is like, I hate to say it, but it's totally inaccurate. Like, this does not reflect my college football team. They freaking suck, bro. Alright, I'm sorry. 7 out of 10. I don't know what I was thinking. Madam Web is awful. Like, I think it's like a step above awful. I don't know how to describe how awful it is. It's just like the actual worst. Literally the first 10 minutes, I was like, you know what? I want to quit. I don't know how they even allowed this to go to theaters. Like, I swear this movie must have been the first draft. There's so much like stuff that it doesn't seem right. This one literally made me swear off any Sony Spider-Man related stuff. Like, I'm not touching Craven or Morbius with the freaking 10-foot cow prod. Like, it's not happening. F you guys for this. Like, literally screw yourself, Sony. You suck. Thank God you're giving the rights back to Marvel, because holy hell, you guys suck. You suck so bad. Have I mentioned how much you suck? 1 out of 10. Like, oh my God, I need to stop thinking about this piece of... Okay, I guess talking about a pretty okay movie is better than talking about the freaking Spawn of Satan. I've been wanting to watch Kubo for the longest time, ever since I was young. I don't know how young I was, but I did really want to watch this movie. And of course I didn't, because the animation is really good. Like, wow. I never thought they could make stop motion look this good. Of course I did, but you know. But the story stinks. I'm sorry. It's just really lackluster. Like, you can have the fanciest animation all you can, but if you have a whack story, like, it's not gonna make me think that the movie's suddenly better. Like, I'm sorry. To me, that's what makes animated movies so special. You can have great animation, but if you don't have a good story, it's just gonna fall flat. It's not gonna become memorable. But hey, maybe you will like this movie. I guess I kind of would recommend it to kind of see how you feel. You might really like it. You might not. I don't care. 6 out of 10.
Welcome to Camp Okeechobee! Are you ready for the best 2 weeks of your life?
All right, my annual I almost said holiday. Halloween movie was the, I guess, infamous Sleepaway Camp. Listen, this movie is so... It's so dumb, but I love it. Like, it's the definition of a sleazy horror movie. Minus the sex. There's no sex, which I kind of appreciated. But yeah, if you know this movie at all, you know of its ending. And yeah, that ending is something. My God. Yeah, I was kind of like, oh boy. Yeah. That kind of struck a nerve for me. 6 out of 10.
Babe, take that shit. Give it to a homeless man. Oh shit, the motherfucker ain't homeless.
All right, we got another Quentin Tarantino movie. Unfortunately, it's a pretty mid one. If you know about Quentin's whole discography, this one is in near the bottom of the totem pole for good reason. I hate to say it. It's kind of ironic. The main character doesn't really feel like a hero. I know that might sound weird, but I don't know. I think Quentin is best when he has his main characters be like a duo or a group, because when it's a single person, it's kind of like I don't know, but it's okay. 6 out of 10. What? Who's that? Who's that? I'm shocked that I enjoyed this. I was always curious about Advent Children, and I had the chance to watch it thanks to my local hobby shop that had this on DVD. I'm glad I bought it because I had a really good time. This movie's biggest highlight is easily the fight scenes. They're silly, but also so good. Like, all the characters are basically like rag dolls. They fly like every which way. It makes no sense, but I could care less. It's also really nice seeing every character, like literally every character from Final Fantasy VII be represented in some way. I love that. Also, the ending fight with Sephiroth. Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely recommend this one to any Final Fantasy fans out there, or any video game fans out there. This is an adaptation I can get behind. It's not much of an adaptation, considering it's just a continuation of a story. But anyways, 7 out of 10.
That's fine.
You know, I kind of wish the first half of this movie was the whole movie. Bombs is a perfectly fine teen movie. The start of it, I really enjoyed it, but by the end, I was like, wow, this one fell off a cliff. Which is kind of surprising because I heard nothing but good things before watching this, which makes it all the more disappointing. I really like how sort of like off the wall it is. It kind of breaks the fourth wall like a little bit, if you know what I mean. Most of the humor lands, except in the second half, but I'll talk about the second half. The second half just falls into too much teen movie traps. The main friendship breaks up, the main group breaks up, all this stuff. It's like, listen, I get that, but I've seen that too many times in teen movies. I also joked with myself while watching this movie with all the music. I'm like, it's like all hyper pop stuff. I'm like, who made the music? Charlie XCX. Guess whose name was in the credits? Just take a wild guess. 6 out of 10.
Don't touch my child.
Hey, you know how I mentioned there was another DreamWorks movie? Hey, guess what? This is the one. My God, the Wild Robot is so good. I saw this with my mom in theaters, and if she likes it, boy, you know it's good. The animation is so good. It's also a bit of a heart wrencher because it deals with motherly stuff. The stuff that hits you in the feels. I definitely recommend you check this one out. I heard it's getting a sequel too, and hey, if that's the case, I am getting front row seats. 8 out of 10. And the last movie of the year is...
Why, you have so much music. What are you listening to?
18 naked.
Listen, I've been curious about the Twilight movies for a while, so I decided, you know what? Forget it. And it's fine. It's a pretty generic love story with vampires and all that stuff. I know that the sequels are a bit better, I think. What kind of holds this movie down is kind of like start of the main relationship. You know, the start of a relationship usually isn't the best part about it. I don't know, I'm not speaking from experience. And also, it does suffer from 2000s CGI or effects. They look like crap, okay? They look like total garbage. Like, most of this movie is like navy blue colors. Like, it doesn't look very pleasing. It's like I'm literally watching the movie like underwater with how much blue there is. But it's a perfectly decent time. Can't wait to watch the rest of them because I'm forcing myself to. 5 out of 10. Okay, it's TV show time, and let's start it off with
another sign language interpreter accused of signing total gibberish.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to remember what even happened. It's kind of sad to see the state of Disney Plus Marvel shows come to this, because at the start they were doing well, and unfortunately this one is not one. It does not compete with them. Also, this whole thing that they did was about how it's mature is total crap, man. The only reason it's mature is the fact that they added blood. That is literally it. Like, come on, guys. Really? This is mature? Yeah, okay. And I'm a billionaire. 5 out of 10.
I don't hate them, just wouldn't want a dirty faunus dating my sister. Like, wasn't that Skank with her own kind at some point?
Well, a lot has happened since I mentioned RWBY on this channel. The state of RWBY, now, I don't want to get into it. It's a whole mess. Anyways, Volume 9 is perfectly fine. It was interesting seeing the focus be completely on Team RWBY and their adventure and sort of a lot of character moments and how they sort of, I don't know, grow as characters, if that's what you want to call it. But what I dislike the most is that this season's way too short, which makes the whole season, like in the context of the whole show, kind of seem like an afterthought. Like, not saying there weren't like memorable moments, far from it, but when I remember other volumes, I remember so many moments. This one doesn't do that, unfortunately, because it's so short. It's basically just a prolonged setup for the next season. God knows when that's gonna come out, so okay, I can't get this bitter taste out of my mouth until freaking who knows when. 5 out of 10.
It's fucking Saturday!
Oh boy, the show that made fun of the fact that it had spin-offs suddenly has a spin-off. Oh boy, but the spinoff is good. Listen, if you like The Boys, you'll like this. For a spinoff, it is very similar to The Boys, which I did not really like, honestly. I wish it was more different. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a good time. I liked the new characters, but it's a perfectly acceptable, good spinoff, I guess. 7 out of 10.
For the samurai warrior. Ha! You had me at...
I think I'm gonna forever kick myself for not making a quick rev on Blue Eye Samurai, because goddamn, this show is... Oh, the animation is so good. The fights are so good. All the characters are really good too. Like, oh my god, I should have made that freaking video so I could just gush about this for 5 minutes, because oh my god, I love it. Learning about Imperial Japan, is it Imperial or ancient? Whatever, either way, it was interesting learning about that when you're not watching people get splattered and stabbed all the time. I mean, those times were brutal, honestly. Like geez Louise. I highly recommend this show. It is awesome. Almost perfect though. Almost. I'm dying to see that second season though. Ooh, baby, I can't wait. 9 out of 10.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagoo.
Yeah, the first season of The Sopranos is a good time. Freaking DirecTV decided to be a little poopy head and just be like, oh, that HBO Max thing you could have had, we're just gonna cut that away, and guess who doesn't get to watch The Sopranos? You. Anyways, I don't really have much to say that other people haven't said about Sopranos. It's good. 7 out of 10.
I am.
Man, this one took a while to come out, and I guess it lived up to expectations. It's definitely not as good as the first season. Like, come on, guys. The second half of the season was really good. The first half wasn't. It kind of felt meandering. It's like, oh, we have these episodes until we get to the good stuff, but just you wait until we get to the good stuff. It'll make up for all the kind of schlock that we've given you. But the whole season as a whole, it's good. The third season's actually, like, really close. Like, goddamn. You guys have been working, haven't you? 7 out of 10.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
I have also made a quick rev on this one. Overall, it's a good show. I like the mystery, detective work, and all that stuff. That's where the show is at its best. 7 out of 10. And here are my favorite episodes. Another good video game adaptation? What world am I living in? Yeah, Fallout is really good. I haven't played any Fallout games before, and honestly, this show is probably gonna change that relatively soon. The cast does an excellent job. I think the best part about the whole show is how accurate it is to the video games. Like, you definitely feel like you're in the world of Fallout, which is really cool. It also has Jinx from Arcane. What more could you ask for? 8 out of 10.
Goo goo gaga. I want milk.
I suppose, speaking of The Boys, season 4. Ooh, good. Listen, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. It is a good season, but it's the worst out of every season from The Boys. It's kind of hard to explain why this is the worst season. Maybe it's because I'm kind of over the whole Boys thing. Like, I've seen it enough up to this point. I've seen 3 seasons. I've seen Gen V. It's like, okay, I know what to expect. It's gonna be raunchy, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, so what really else is there that it could surprise me with? And I guess this does pave the way for the final season, which I am excited for. It should be a good time. I hope. 7 out of 10.
For you, boy, I'm watching Freaks and Geeks.
Another thing my mom begged me to watch was Freaks and Geeks, and I'm glad she made me watch it, because it's pretty good. I do really like how it takes in perspectives from a lot of families, whether that be, I forgot the character's name, but you know what I mean. I think that's really cool, and ultimately really makes this show like very grounded, which I really appreciate. There's a ton of fun episodes, a lot of good characters. It's just good. 7 out of 10. Here are my favorite episodes.
So why are you selling it in such small quantities? Why don't you just sell the whole pound at once?
To who? What do I look like, Scarface?
I was intrigued by this show based on the title alone, and also hearing about the backstory of it. I was like, okay, I'll give it a whirl, and it's pretty alright. One thing that does hold this show back is that the episodes feel way too short. I think they were each like 25 minutes. That's way too short, man. Because, like, I swear, just as like the episode's getting really good, boom, it's over. Like, come on, really? But overall, the first season is pretty okay. I am willing to watch the later seasons, and hopefully they're better than the first. 6 out of 10.
Oh gosh, these guys are so much funnier than us.
Well, here's another show my mom begged me to watch, and guess what? I'm glad I did. I had known about Flight of the Conchords and had listened to them a great deal before watching this show, which is weird considering the music came from the show, not the opposite. It was kind of weird not knowing the full context of how songs are the way they are without knowing the context of them in the each episode. But yeah, it's good. Watching the music videos and everything in between was a good time. With a lot of comedy shows, there are episodes that are pretty good, but then some that are kind of and then that's the same here, but you know what, I can't complain all too much. 7 out of 10. And the last TV show is
Victor Nation. How are we feeling?
Listen, I promise I won't gush about this because I've already done it in a quick rev. And to cut to the chase, it's a really good second season. Not as good as the first for reasons, but yeah, 8 out of 10, and here are my favorite episodes. All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you consider watching some of these movies or TV shows. If not, that's fine. I can't blame you for not wanting to watch Madam Web. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.